would have failed.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Snowski here, coming back with another YouTube video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and a wonderful start to the week. Today being 12/22/2025. It is currently Monday, and well, we are in Q4 of the month and technically the last week of the year, at least that I'm going to be participating in the market, right? A lot of people know we have a lot of holidays coming up, and well, prices on and off this week, right? We understand that the volatility might be a little iffy, but as always, I did bang a nice trade today coming into the new week, a nice little 710 per account, nice little 72 points on the day, shorting NASDAQ. Now, a lot of people may ask, coming into today, what is the video going to be about? We are going to be breaking down, as always, the highest time frame to the lowest time frame, a full breakdown on why I pressed the button coming into 10 a.m., being 10 a.m. power of 3, what made me in resulting to pressing the button, such as the higher time frame bias and the lower time frame confirmations. So before we hop into that, if you guys aren't already part of Collectors Club, my 100% free Discord server, join that shit up. Every single week we have free notions, free weekly recap calls, free Snowski outlooks, everything. It is one of the best servers coming up right now. But what you guys have been waiting for, the trade recap. Before we hop into the trade recap, of course, we are going to be doing the sped up live review where you guys can see when and where I pressed my button and my execution and why my TP was, well, where it was. So I'll catch you guys in a second. Peace.
I can't believe I still receive so much of your affection. I need to feel something real. We are so self-destroyed.
We are back. I hope you guys enjoyed that live recap, but of course you guys are here to, well, for the breakdown. What exactly made me pressing my button today on shorts NASDAQ for 4-hour power of 3? So as always, before we hop into the lower time frame fluctuations, let's hop over to the higher time frame. Now, this, I guess, little breakdown I have all over my chart is actually something I reviewed with my inner circle students yesterday for our kind of like pre-market outlook before we hop into the week. But obviously, I'm not going to be jumping into every little thing that I keep behind private doors, but I want you guys to have a basic understanding of what was I really looking at for coming into this week. We understand that this week in particular is our last week of our given monthly power of 3. Now, our monthly power of 3, I'm anticipating to be bullish. Understanding what I've been breaking down for a lot of videos prior to this is that in regards to making a higher high coming into the remaining of the year, ending the year strong. We have a lot of bullish confluences and cracking correlations at the lows and very unprotected stops at the top as clear draws on price. Understanding that I'm in a clear buy model for the remaining of the year, we have to break down our monthly power of three. Prior weeks to, well, the week that we are currently in, we had expansion, accumulation. During the accumulation, we created buy stops in the market. Buy stops meaning clear draws on price. Then once we started selling off, being our manipulation phase, you're always going to confirm that manipulation by a cracking correlation. So we put in during our manipulation week, which was last week, a monthly cycle SSMT followed by a 4-hour PSP. Understanding that since we have the monthly cycle SSMT on the lows, this is considered now a protected stop. Protected stops are stops in the market that will have a cracking correlation to validate its reversal. And that reversal point, well, it's now considered a protected stop. Protected meaning not likely to be stop hunted. Now, we can see that at the highs, unprotected stops, these highs, engineered highs, are the ones that lack any prominent cracking correlation. Meaning, if they fit within narrative, they are clear draws on price. On top of the fact that we also came down into our previous month OTE range. As you can see, previous month OTE, which was a significant reaction that we had. You can see the V-tape recovery. So, understanding that, well, we have expansion, accumulation, manipulation. Manipulation is confirmed by the monthly cycle SSMT and the 4-hour PSP. Well, now my main draw on price coming into this week is buy side delivery, right? Because we have unprotected stops that we are likely to now target against and looking for signatures of higher prices. Well, that brings us into our weekly power of three. We understand that if we're anticipating this week to be distribution, I'm looking for this week to be open, low, high, close, meaning opening price, manipulate lower, distribute higher, right? Because I'm looking for open, low, high, close format in our given weekly power of three to target against these unprotected stops. Now, in order for us to see this weekly power of three development, we understand that looking at our news drivers, Thursday this week is, well, Christmas, the day after Christmas and the day before Christmas, meaning so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're likely to be a little bit lackluster, understanding that Thursdays are given holiday, well, the markets are going to be closed. The day after and the day prior, pre-holiday and post-holiday, ICT has taught us that they are very lackluster. And if you guys go into any collected data, you'll see it's very repetitive that the condition of pre and post-holidays, well, they tend to be very consolidative. Understanding this, looking at the news drivers, Monday being today had no news. Tomorrow and Wednesday being really the only applicable days this week to trade are red news impacts. Utilizing news, I'm anticipating this week specifically is AMD. Understanding that, well, the red news folders are the next occurring days after today, we are likely to see not only a slight manipulation, but a dip below our weekly opening price. Now, why? Because we have a unmitigated new week opening gap. So coming into today, my whole bias was that unmitigated new week opening gap, as we can see right here. So what I'm actually going to do, let me pull up my thing, my little new week opening gap. There we can see. So my whole draw coming into our 4-hour power of three was anticipating that prices are likely to sell off, understanding that I was not trading distribution today. I was actually trading manipulation, understanding that at the very highs we did have, if you go to the 4-hour chart, we did have a monthly cycle SSMT with the highest high of our previous week. As we could see at the time, YM failed to put in that high, and well, so did ES, but now ES already kind of made it above, but that's after, right? That's post tense. When I was entering in the market, we did not get above these highs. So we had a monthly cycle at the high. We had a unmitigated new week opening gap, as we can refer back to right down here. We had an unmitigated new week opening gap at the same time that, well, we had a weekly and a daily devil's mark power of three. So all of these things were telling me that, okay, there's two sides of the market here. We have a monthly cycle at the highs, and the other side of the market lacks any balancing ranges, right? Because not only is our weekly and our daily power of three starting off with a devil's mark power of three, meaning lack of manipulation. If we're looking for higher prices in the entire week, we're looking for that to get drawn to put in a significant cracking correlation, mitigate the new week opening gap to, well, prove efficient buy side delivery, right? Because we're looking for strength in the market. But understanding today was accumulation, well, we're not going to just open and immediately rip for higher highs on an accumulation day, right? We understand that it's very high resistance. We understand that it's very range bound. So I'm anticipating a dip back into the range. So my draw today was not only the daily open, the weekly open, which is the same thing, right? The new week opening gap, but also true day, because I wanted to see a dip below true day. And that is the exact understanding I used coming into today's 4-hour power 3. What did I look for? We had a monthly cycle at the highs, which was all the way up there. So followed by our 4-hour confirmation, the monthly cycle SSMT. What I'm trying to figure out is why my chart is glitched. That is weird. But monthly cycle SSMT, 15-minute PRC, 15-minute PSP, and then once we retested with our 1-minute PSPSD, we slapped into our AM OTE, which overlapped first presented. And that was exactly the confirmations that I needed to short to, well, balance out the range. Understanding that if we have an unmitigated new week opening gap in a bullish market, expecting the weekly power of 3 to really, well, send buy side delivery, we only have 3 days of the week that are going to do that, understanding the remaining 2 days are likely to be lackluster due to holidays. So I use that information to an extent of understanding, okay, we're likely to put that prominent weekly open manipulation in today, seeing that tomorrow, being true week open, is now going to have an additional manipulation, and then that will confirm distribution to send higher. Also, with the fact that we are in that, I'm also seeing this as a market maker buy model, seeing that we have unprotected stops. We have original consolidation, where we engineered buy side delivery during our accumulation week, first stage reaccumulation, second stage smart money reversal validated from the monthly cycle in the 4-hour PSP, first stage likely to get second stage and then send higher. So coming into today, my bias was second stage redistribution. This sell-off to validate the weekly open, the daily open, the new week opening gap, that was second stage redistribution as a validation for me. So understanding that I was trading the manipulation, not the distribution, but the confluences I had on my side were telling me that it's likely to work. And that is exactly why I pressed the button today. So nothing super complicated, right? It is simply bias refinement. What is the market really telling you in regarding Po3, market maker models, and the remaining week of the year? We understand we're looking for higher prices above those highs. So that was my interpretation of prices, understanding we're likely to sell off and put that cracking correlation because, well, overnight never did the damage, right? We had an unmitigated new week opening gap, devil's mark weekly and daily opening power of 3, right? You could see the chances of us dipping back down into here to validate that strong suit of higher prices. And that's what I used for a validation of my trade today. Super, super beautiful. Nice little $700 to 5 accounts, so $3,500 today. Not complaining. Great way to start the week. But guys, I hope you guys made some money. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far and having a wonderful pre-holiday, getting set up for the holidays. If you guys celebrate Christmas, happy holidays, man. Happy holidays. But gonna be ending this off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. And as always, I'll catch you guys at the top. Peace out.